question for everybody, basically. As voters, we want to have as much confidence in the candidates that we're going to vote for, and unfortunately we're often disappointed after we elect people to find out that their values weren't what we thought they were, or all kinds of stuff that surprises us. So what advice would you give to us as voters to try to pin that down as well as we can before Election Day?
My suggestion is that you do your very best to get to know the candidates that are out there. So if you're interested in what's going on in your community and you're concerned about who's running and you want to get to know them, host a coffee party, host a wine and cheese, some kind of an event to bring people in where you can get to know them in more than the 5 minutes you might have with them on the doorstep. And that can be informal conversations with the folks that are there. There can be specific questions, really getting to know the candidate. I mean, really most people, leopards don't change their spots, that kind of a thing. So probably a little investigation and you'll soon figure out who the folk, and ask around. That these are small communities that we live in.
Google them right away. Talk to people who are notables, people who have influence, people who you respect in the community. Look at their financial statements from the past and see who's linked to who in the community. Read your review, not just ads, but just find out who's hanging out with who. There are lots of ways to find out, but talk to your neighbors, talk to other people, and look at their voting record. See what they've been doing on council in the past if they're running again, if they're an incumbent.
I'd like to respond to that one also. As those of you who've been members for a while know, we've been sending out reports for 2.5, 3 years about not only voting, but what people said as the reasons for their votes on and how they perceived different issues. This is the people who are sitting on our council now. So asking the community association and looking back at those kinds of reports is another way of identifying the consistency of perspective. Now, you need to do all the other things for people who don't have experience on council in the last 2 years.
Yeah, excuse me, I would agree with everything that's been said before. And also add this, that every candidate will put out brochures, and brochures have a way of all sounding the same. Everybody's democratic, open, transparent, for change, positive change, and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes pamphlets don't help much, but I think really look at them carefully, because sometimes you will find things that distinguish them. But the real thing is we do live in a small community. And the one thing that I discovered when I was on council is that you do have a visibility. People know who you are, even if you don't know who they are. And people know each other, and there are networks. So get to know the candidates, get to know, as the others have said, how they're connected, who they're connected with, and so forth. Communities are small, and word travels fairly quickly. Positive and negative. But yeah.